Hello students. So this time we are going to start our new chapter, that is biomolecules, chapter number 14. Okay. So now what is biomolecules? We very well versed with the biomolecules. Biomolecules are the lifeless complex organic compounds which combine specific manner to produce life or control biological reactions called biomolecules. This is a very simple definition of biomolecules. The lifeless complex, this is the important word, lifeless, then complex organic molecule which combine in a specific manner to produce life or control biological reactions. These are called biomolecules. Which are those? We know it very well. Those are having biology. They studied from the long time all these things. So these are carbohydrates, proteins, lipids. In lipids there is fats and oils, nucleic acids and enzymes. Okay. From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we are not going to study lipid, fats and oils in the 12th standard. Only we are going to study carbohydrates, proteins, nucleic acids and enzymes. All these are very specific compounds which are useful for all our biological activities, which due to which we are here. Okay, we are doing our all functions. We are thinking, we are writing, we are sleeping, we are eating. Each and every activity is due to these biological reactions, and for that we have to eat also the food which contains carbohydrates, which contains proteins, nucleic acids and enzymes. Okay, so first we will start with carbohydrates. Okay, what are these carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones. Aldehydes or ketones. Up till now we very well know what is aldehyde and what is ketone. This is the carbonyl group, where to these two ends R groups are attached, or this is the aldehyde group where one bond attached to R but the one bond attached to H always, and this is the carbonyl carbon. This is the carbonyl carbon, C double bond O. Okay, so here compounds that on hydrolysis give polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones. Means what? Compounds containing polyhydroxyaldehydes and ketones are also known as carbohydrates, or compounds on hydrolysis, that is acid hydrolysis, when gives us polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketone, then it is also called carbohydrate. Now what is this polyhydroxy? More than one OH, more than, okay, more than one OH, that is polyhydroxy. Okay, that is polyhydroxy. When only OH, monohydroxy. When more than one OH, then it is polyhydroxy. And that with that polyhydroxy there is aldehyde group. Or there is ketonic group. Then polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxyketones are called carbohydrates. So for example, glucose, fructose, okay, all these are carbohydrates. They are sweet in taste. So in general we call them sugars also. Now for example, milk, in the milk also sugar is present, and that sugar is known as lactose. Okay, from where we get this word sugar? This sugar word we get from saccharon, and this is nothing but Greek word for sugar, saccharon, and from that our sakhar, and in English it is sugar. Okay, saccharon, and hence carbohydrates are also called saccharides. So monosaccharides, polysaccharides, oligosaccharides, disaccharides, trisaccharides, all these words based upon this saccharon, which is our sakhar, or you may say sugar. Okay, so this is saccharides. Now this is general idea about this, all the which we are going to study under the heading carbohydrate. Okay, now we are going to see General formula of carbohydrate. General formula of carbohydrate. Up till now, we know that glucose is C6H12O6. Glucose is C6H12O6. Okay, but we can give, means what? Here in carbohydrate there is a combination of carbon with hydrogen and with oxygen, and the ratio is also something is given. Okay, so now from all these examples, or this is a sucrose which is C12H22O11, or if this is a starch C6H10O5. Okay, everywhere carbon, hydrogen, oxygen are the main elements, but only the ratio we have to study. And for that, as usual, we for every organic compound we are writing general formula. Similarly, here we can write the general formula like this, that is carbon with X number, while H2O molecule is of Y number. H2O molecule is of Y number. Okay, so this is C6H12O6, so we can write it as C6. So we are writing C6 here as it is. Now we have to see how many hydrogens and oxygens. These are 12 and this is 6. So this we can write H2O6. H2O6. So we can write here C6H2O6 like this. Okay. So means what here? Here in this example, X is equal to 6 as well as Y is equal to 6. But not necessary everywhere X is equal to 6 and Y is equal to 6. We just this formula converted into general formula like this, C6H12O6. Now we will go for sucrose. Now what is this sucrose? Sucrose is nothing but our cane sugar. Okay. So what is sucrose? Sucrose is C12H22O11. Something different than this. Here are 6, here are 12. Means definitely there are two types of sugars present in this. Okay, this is just one type. Here it is two types, and that's why C becomes double. 6 into 2, it becomes 12. Okay, but now this is H22O11. Means what? Now oxygens are 11, hydrogens are 11 multiplied by 2, means nothing but H2O is 11. H2O is 11. So here we are writing like this, C12 H2O 11, means what? X is equal to 12, while H2O, that is Y, is equal to 11. H2O Y is equal to 11. Now starch. Starch is a polymer. Starch is a polymer, and that's why we are writing number of molecules connected to each other. So we are writing here N. We are writing here N. General formula of starch is, now see, there is a link in between molecules. Link in between molecules. So hydrogen, number of hydrogen atoms are less. Number of hydrogen atoms are less because they connected to each other. There is a link, and that's why for the satisfying the valency of the carbon, we don't require more hydrogens less than this one, and that's why here it is H10O5. Okay, so what is this? This is again nothing but 5 into 2, so we can say H2O5. H2O5, and see here 6 means what? Now here according to this formula, here X is equal to 6 while Y is equal to 5, but they are number of, that's why we are writing here N. We are writing here N connected to each other. Starch is a polymer, and the formula is now C6H2O bracket 5. In general form we can write as C, here it is X means 6 and H2O 5. So whatever we are writing separately, C6H12O6 or C12H22O11 or C6H10O5, we can write in a general formula like this. We can write in the general formula. Are you getting everything? Okay, we will go for the next. Now next one is classification of carbohydrates. Classification of carbohydrates, that is saccharides. Okay, classification of carbohydrates. We have to see which type of saccharides we are going to study or which we are having, and we have to know what are those. Okay, so here we are going to use textbook. Here it is our textbook. Okay, see now here, what is this? Carbohydrates called as a saccharides. There are three types: mono, oligo, poly. Mono, oligo, poly. What is mono? Monosaccharides do not hydrolyze into smaller units, means they are intact one unit. This is one unit only, means like glucose, fructose, ribose. We are not going to further hydrolyze these things, glucose, fructose, ribose, they remain as it is. So we cannot do hydrolysis. So this is glucose, fructose and ribose. This is just one monosaccharide. Means what? When there is monosaccharide is means when there is only like this C6H12O6, such type of unit is there, only one unit which is not going to further hydrolyze is known as monosaccharides. Now what is oligosaccharide? Now this is very interesting. On hydrolysis it gives us 2 to 10. How many? 2 to 10. Okay, monosaccharide, just like this glucose. How many? 2 glucoses or 2 sucroses, 2 fructoses or 2 riboses, like that, or more than that, 2 to 10, or mixture of all these things. Glucose plus fructose plus ribose means if all these three are there, means here the number will be 3. Okay, like this, and different combinations also possible. So 2 to 10 units on hydrolysis is known as oligosaccharides. 2 to 10 units. Now what about polysaccharides? Polysaccharides on hydrolysis, large number of monosaccharides units we will get. So for example, this is starch. Just before we studied this starch, in starch there are n number of units, large number, large number, n may be 100, n may be 200, n may be 1000, n may be 2000, like that. Large number of monosaccharide units on hydrolysis we get, and from starch we get large number of hydrolysis. From glycogen we get large number of hydrolysis. This cellulose nothing but our this paper. Okay, this is made up of number of monomer units. Okay, and this is known as a polysaccharide. This is our polysaccharide. Okay, now further, this oligosaccharide divided into again 3 type of saccharides. 3 type. In oligo, range is our 2 to 10, and depend upon that they again classified as a, if there are the 2 units, then this is known as disaccharide. Means what? 2 monosaccharide units on hydrolysis we get. So for example, from sucrose we get glucose plus fructose, 2 units. One unit is glucose, second one it is fructose, that is sucrose. If you are going to use maltose, and if you are do the hydrolysis of maltose, then we will get 2 glucose units. If we will do hydrolysis of lactose, then we get 1 unit of glucose and 1 unit of galactose, means 1 2 1 2 1 2, and that's why this is known as disaccharides. Then next one is trisaccharides. Okay, so now here on the hydrolysis yield is of 3 monosaccharides. Yield of hydrolysis gives you 3 monosaccharide units. For example, this raffinose, from where 1 unit is of glucose, another 1 unit is the fructose, and third one is the galactose. Means what? Glucose plus fructose plus galactose. Glucose, fructose and galactose. So 3 tri, 1 2 3 3. So it is known as trisaccharides. Okay, now tetra we know this is 3, then tetra we know this is 4. On hydrolysis we get 4 different or 4 saccharides, 4 units. So that is tetrasaccharide. So here 4 monosaccharide units on hydrolysis we get. So example stachiols. Okay, here it is 1 glucose unit, 1 fructose and 2 galactose. Glucose plus fructose plus 2 galactose. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So here it is 4. So this is our tetrasaccharide. Okay, this is all for classification of carbohydrates. Remember, monosaccharide, oligosaccharide, polysaccharide. Oligosaccharide further divided into disaccharide, trisaccharide and tetrasaccharide. Next topic is our nomenclature. This is very easy part. Nomenclature. Important is that we should say for each and every saccharide, for the ending is with the glycose. This is GLYCOSE, glycose. Okay, so general name of monosaccharide is glycose. General name. This is general name of monosaccharide. General name of the monosaccharides. General name of monosaccharides. Okay, so what is this? These monosaccharides with one aldehyde group. Now see, the further thing is very important. Monosaccharides with the one aldehyde carbonyl group, then it is called aldose. From this glycose, okay, OAC remain there, this OAC is there, and this is with aldehyde group, this is with aldehyde group, this is our aldehyde group, then this is called aldose. Okay, while if there is a ketonic carbonyl group, then it is called ketose. Ket for the ketonic, Os is for the saccharide. Okay, this OSE is for the saccharide, means saccharide with ketonic group is known as ketose. Saccharide with aldehyde group, it is known as aldose. End is OSE. Okay, this is general name. OSE. Okay, so here example, this is our glucose C6H12O6 is an aldose. Means what? This glucose is having one aldehydic structure in that. Okay, so there are 6 carbon and there is a aldehyde group. So here we are writing 6 carbon with the aldehyde group. So we are here writing aldehyde group. So aldo, 6 is the hex and this is the saccharide. So this is OSE. So this is aldohexose. Aldohexose and plural is S, aldohexose. So this is aldohexose. Okay, aldo for aldehyde, hex for 6 number of carbon atoms present, OSE, this is the saccharide. So this is aldohexose. Then fructose. Fructose is same formula, C6H12O6, but instead of aldehyde, here it is the ketonic group is present. Ketonic structure is there. So this is known as ketose. This is known as ketose. Ketose with 6 carbon, therefore this is ketohexose. See, understand this thing. You can divide it like this. Okay, so ketonic group is present, so we are writing here keto. Then hex 6 carbons are there, so we are writing here hexose. And then here it is saccharide, so this is glucose. Saccharide, so this is glucose. In this way. Okay, so now next topic is methods of preparation of glucose. Methods of preparation of glucose. There are 2 methods. One is from sucrose. When this sucrose C12H22O11 undergo hydrolysis reaction due in the presence of dilute HCl or H2SO4, when we are providing heat, this heat is very important for hydrolysis, acid hydrolysis, we are writing here H plus. Then this sucrose molecule is factorized into 2 factors, 2 equal factors. Okay, this is one monosaccharide, this is another monosaccharide. What is that? C6H12O6, and this is C6H12O6 fructose, and this is glucose. What will the difference in between these two? This compound or this molecule is having aldehydic structure, while this fructose is having ketonic structure. So, this is aldohexose while this one is ketohexose. This is the mixture of glucose and fructose. This is the mixture of glucose and fructose. We get like this. So, we prepared here glucose from sucrose. Here this glucose is separated from the fructose by adding ethanol during cooling, and glucose being crystallized as it is insoluble, and we can separate out glucose. We can separate out glucose. This is based upon the physical properties. We can separate out glucose from the fructose, means from the mixture of glucose fructose we can separate out glucose only. This is one method. Okay. So, now next method is from starch. Next method is from starch, and this is also called commercial method, means commercially so many times glucose is prepared from starch. Starch is very easily available, and so we can separate it out. Okay. So, what is that? C6H10O5, we know the starch. What is starch? N number of molecules attached to each other. This is the polymer, and that is why for hydrolysis we also required n number of water molecules. Okay. It is as hydrolysis is due to dilute H2SO4. See now, a specific temperature is required, that is 293 Kelvin. Okay. And then here it is, we have to use it for 2-3 atmospheric pressure. If the minimum temperature is required is 2-3 atmospheric pressure, means with the temperature and the pressure condition, this polysaccharide is converted into monosaccharide. Okay. This polymer is converted into monomer. Here the chain where we get completing the bracket, and we are writing here N, but when we are separating it out we are writing N here, and now this is the number of monomers of glucose we get, in this reaction. So, this is nothing but hydrolysis of starch by boiling with dilute sulfuric acid at 393 Kelvin temperature under 2 to 3 atmospheric pressure. We can prepare glucose. Next is very important, and that is structure and properties of glucose. This is the very important topic from our syllabus. Okay. First we will see structure. Up till now we know that glucose is having aldehyde group. So, we are writing here aldo. There are 6 carbons, C6H12O6, 6 carbons. So, this is Higgs, and this is saccharide. So, this is OSC. So, this is aldohexose structure. Okay. One aldehyde group is present, and it is formal group, C double bond OH. This is known as formal group. So, this is known as formal group. That means formic acid, formaldehyde, from that this is our aldehyde group, formal group. Okay, this is formal group. Remaining 5 are the carbons. Okay, and to that 5 carbons, to each carbon one hydroxyl group is attached. And so total are 6. This is the one, then the remaining are 5. So total are 6. Okay. Now see the structure. We can write aldehyde group like this, that is the formal group. Then next carbon with hydrogen and oxygen everywhere. This is a pentahydroxy compound, So here are 4 hydroxy groups, and here one is the 5th hydroxy group. So total 4 plus 1 5, one aldehyde group. So this is pentahydroxy compound. We can write this structure. This is a condensed formula. We can write like this: CHOH, all are separately we can write, or in the condensed formula in the bracket, and we are writing 4, and separately we can write CHO, SCOH, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons. To 1 carbon is included in the aldehyde group, then the another 4 carbons, each carbon is having hydroxy group, so total are 4 here, and then at the end another carbon is also having hydroxy group, this is OH, this is the 5th one, and now this is the primary hydroxy group, primary, while here are, these are the secondary, these are the secondary, while this one is primary. Okay, this is linear form, this is our linear form. We are going to study this in detail next, but just I want to give you some idea. This is a linear form, but when you are going to dissolve in the water, when this structure of the glucose you are going to dissolve in the water, it is connected to each other and form a cyclic ring form, cyclic ring form. How we can get it? See here, this is CHO, okay, here it is the CHO, for the time being we are writing like this. Then next carbon, this carbon, then this carbon, and to this carbon, here it is CH2OH group is attached, CH2OH group is attached. So what is going to exactly happen? See, we are in the cyclic formation, these C to this C, means remaining 5 carbons are taking part, and this is remaining as it is, So what is going to happen? Here it is, this OH is with the lone pairs, these lone pairs are given to this carbonyl carbon of the aldehyde group, and that is why these charges are also shifted to O, and when we are going to shift, this H is also going to remove it from here, and double bond is converted into single bond, and here it is formation of OH, this H attached to this O. So here it is formation of OH, and we removed this H and this O is attached to C. So this O is attached to C like this, and here it is the CH2OH group, and all other things are remaining here. See, what are the changes? Change is here it is O linked in between 2C, this carbonyl oxygen converted into OH, and all remaining things are here like this. This is very interesting. A linear form converted into ring form when we dissolve in water. Based upon these structures, we have to see some different presentation. That is why I give you all these things in detail, how this is going to happen and how we are going to represent or how we are going to write. Okay. So, this is structure, in general structure, linear form and ring form of the glucose. Next, now we must have proofs why this structure is like this, and so in our textbook different proofs are given to us. Okay, proof for the structures, different proofs are given. Okay, first one is the molecular formula. Why molecular formula is C6H12O6 only? So on the basis of elemental composition and colligative properties, they came to know, scientists came to know molecular formula is C6H12O6. Colligative properties means so many NMR, IR, UV spectroscopy they used, and they came to know that the molecular formula is C6H12O6. Okay. Now, how it is in linear and how all these 6 carbons are in one chain, why they are not branch chain, and for that one reaction given in our textbook. You have to just remember this thing, don't go in details or the mechanism and what will the byproduct and everything. Only remember this glucose CHO, CHOH4, CH2OH, when treated with HI, hydroiodic acid, and it should be prolonged heating, means this is a reduction reaction, then it is reduced to, very interestingly, N-hexane, a straight alkane, okay, and so we can conclude this is a straight chain compound. We conclude from this product that this is a straight chain compound. Okay. Next, there is one carbonyl group. Okay, so we have to give some test for this carbonyl group. Okay, and such type of reaction we studied before also in aldehyde and ketonic chapter. Okay, so here it is. What is the test or the In aldehyde ketonic chapter, we treated this with the hydrogen cyanide and we treated with hydroxyl amine. This reaction we studied on page number 269, while such type of reaction we studied in page number 271. So, what is going to happen? See, this aldehyde group is going to treat with hydroxyl amine and there is a formation of oxime. While HCN, then there is a formation of cyanohydrine, CH attached to cyanide group. This CN, okay, is going to attach to cyanide group. All these two reactions we studied in the previous chapter. So, I am not going in detail, you just go through page number 271 and page number 269. And from these two reactions we came to know that there is one carbonyl group present. So, here it is one carbonyl group present. See, CHO is nothing but C double bond OH. One carbonyl group is present. Now, carbonyl group, it may possible that carbonyl group is ketonic also, but in glucose we know that, or we have to prove that is aldehyde group, okay. And for that again the next test is, here it is oxidation reaction. Up till now we studied so many oxidizing reagents in chapter 12, that is KMnO4, K2Cr2O7. These are the oxidizing agents we used in chapter number 12. In chapter of aldehyde ketones we use this. Now here we are going to use bromine water as an oxidizing agent. Here it is oxidation reaction and we get here carboxylic acid group. We know that oxidation of aldehyde group only gives us carboxylic acid group. Oxidation of aldehyde group only gives us carboxylic acid group. Means definitely in structure there is aldehyde group. So, this glucose is now converted into gluconic acid, COOH, CHOH4, CH2OH. All these remaining part remain intact, only CHO converted into COOH, okay. And now next proof is for 5 hydroxyl groups. We have to see 5 hydroxyl groups are present there, okay. And such type of reactions, for this to give a proof of the 5 OH, we studied in chapter 11 alcohols, phenols and ethers on page number 244 such type of reaction, that is reaction with acetic anhydride. And all these OH groups which are present, means alcoholic groups present, they are going to treat with the acetic anhydride and gives us acetate, means gives us ester. This reaction we studied in chapter number 11, page number 244. You can go through it and revise the topic, okay. And so, what is going to happen? This CHOH4, this is CH2OH, going to treat with the acetic anhydride. You know that what is acetic anhydride? CH3 C double bond O, C double bond O, CH3. This is acetic anhydride. So, from this CH3COO group is going to attach over here, CH3COH group is going to attach over here, and byproduct is formation of CH3COOH. Byproduct formation is CH3COOH, and this is known as glucose pentaacetate. Why it is penta? Because we are having 4 plus 1, 5 hydroxyl groups. 4 plus 1, 5 hydroxy groups. So, this is pentaacetate, okay. And one more proof here we have to show, that is glucose contains one primary alcohol. We are not going to we are not paying attention toward this. This is the next topic, that is the primary alcoholic group. This is CH2OH group is present, and we can see also these are secondaries one. These are the secondary alcoholic groups, but for the primary alcoholic group we are going to do such type of reactions, and so we can come to know, yes, there is primary alcoholic group is also present. So, what is that? This is our glucose and this is our gluconic acid which we prepared in the previous reaction to give the proof for the carbonyl group. By the oxidation we get this gluconic acid. Here it is COH. So, we are taking that product here, okay, because already this CHO is consumed over here by COH. By consuming COH, here it is COH form. Okay, now we do not have a test for CHO. We must have a test for this primary alcohol, and that is why we use this product also. So, here it is that product COH, CHOH4, CH2OH gluconic acid, and here it is our glucose. We are going to treat with the same reagent, that is HNO3 nitric acid, and this is oxidation reaction. And very interesting part is that when glucose is treated with the nitric acid, we get dicarboxylic acid. Here it is the carboxylic group, here it is the carboxylic group. Here in this reactant already there is one carboxylic group, but this second carboxylic group is also formed here, and that is only due to oxidation of primary alcohol. Oxidation of secondary alcohol is not possible when there is a oxidation with nitric acid. Only primary alcohol undergoes oxidation. Only primary alcohol undergoes oxidation. And similarly here aldehyde group, this is the very general tendency that it goes oxidation converted into COH. This is the very general thing. To get or to do the oxidation, first this primary alcohol converted into aldehyde group then converted into carboxylic group. This is a two-step reaction, this is just one step reaction, and here we get dicarboxylic acid, and that is known as saccharic acid, that is known as saccharic acid. So, in this way there are 6 proofs to give what is the structure of the glucose. You have to go one by one and try to understand how we are going to prove the structure of glucose in this way. Thank you.